The openings and rebuttals, you should probably do like 10 minutes of Q&A.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. So we're live on YouTube. So hopefully this guy shows up. Let me send this to him. Let me see. I think I do have him on. And if he don't show up, I got a bit of a...
No, I think he will.
Huh?
I think he will.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let me see if I could send him this. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Do I have his... What's his name again?
Ninja Dawa.
I sent him a DM.
I sent him one too, so he won't say he don't get it.
Yeah, if you don't show up, I mean, that's pretty crazy, you know. So we got it's getting packed in here because everybody's waiting for this debate. So you can't talk a big game and then not show up, and this is on YouTube as well. So if you don't show up, I mean, we got the receipts right here. Yeah.
What's crazy is he called J49er out too, so he better show up.
Mm-hmm. He better not say he didn't get it, nothing like that. You know, we better not push that narrative. And I was here when he originally called him out, you know? So, you know, I could have got more detailed with this graphic, put a little bit of fire or something, yeah?
Nah, that's cool.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
JP wants to become modern day debate.
Huh?
He says, "Come on, post it all on my live."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's taking the man so long. We got the YouTube set up, we got the TikTok. You know, this man Word gave me a personal text. Well, a personal text message. He said, "Yo, JP, we got this debate. They want it moderated on your channel." So we sent the man the DMs. I don't know. We'll wait another 5 to 10 minutes. But I really hope that in 5 to 10 minutes he don't hit me up on some like, yo, like, I missed it. I didn't see this or something. I hope.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. 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 So we're waiting a few minutes. The man was adamant about this, so we'll see what happens. We'll wait a few more minutes. Jay, if he doesn't show up, Jay, don't ever debate him, like under circumstances. Like the man ran, that's it.
Roger that.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's it. You both agreed, you guys both said here, so he's here. Never mind.
Him?
That's him, he's here.
Hello there.
All right. Well, all right. So look, I need to write this format down. So, let me see if I got a piece of paper somewhere. Or Word, you wanna introduce a potential format, and I'll just write it down.
So they said 5-minute openings.
Yeah.
Is it 1 3-minute rebuttal or 2 3-minute rebuttals?
Just 3-minute rebuttal. We can do two. We'll do a 1 3-minute rebuttal, and then we'll do a 1-minute rebuttal after that. So another 1 minute rebuttal after that, if you want to do that.
So let me get this straight: 5-minute openings, 3-minute
Right.
rebuttal to the openings,
Yeah.
and then you guys gonna do cross examination.
Yeah.
Now then we get another minute of rebuttals.
Okay, and then 1 minute, bro. Make it 2 minutes. 1 minute is nothing.
Okay, 2 minutes. Yeah, that's 2 minutes of rebuttal.
Yeah, they'd be like,
Okay.
yes, I disagree because time is up.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. We can do 2 minutes, and then we'll do 10 minutes of Q&A.
Wait, you guys don't want a cross examination?
Oh yeah, the cross. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cross.
Cross. Sorry, cross.
Oh, okay. So
10
10 minutes
minutes of
cross-examination each?
cross, and then we can have a Q&A. Anybody wants to come up and ask, that's fine after that.
Okay. Well,
Um,
one person comes up, right, per question?
Yeah,
Okay. 10-minute cross-exam.
right.
All right. And then Q
And
and A.
yeah, and during the cross, the other person gets 20 seconds to give a reply back uninterrupted,
Okay. 20 seconds. Okay.
right? And then if you make a statement, the person also gets, maybe if you make a statement, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds to reply back. So we want to avoid people making too many statements out there.
Okay. So let me.
Ask a question, move on. It's a cross. Ask a question, move on.
Okay. So this is what it's going to be. So 5-minute openings, 3-minute rebuttals, then 2-minute rebuttals, 10-minute cross-examination each. You go ahead.
That's not. I'm just agreeing to the terms.
All right. No, but let me just let you know what it is.
All right.
So 5-minute openings uninterrupted, 3-minute rebuttals uninterrupted, 2-minute rebuttals uninterrupted, then 10-minute cross examinations each, where you guys ask each other questions for 10 minutes each, and then Q&A, where individuals can come up and ask a question, and then per question is 20-second response time. Okay.
On the cross, 20 seconds response time.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
So at least you get at least 20 seconds to respond to the other person.
All right. Give me a second. 20 seconds response time.
But what do you disagree with?
Okay, hold on. Let me. No. He said he agrees.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you disagree.
So I agree.
Oh, okay, good. Cool.
A word.
That's
I
pretty
sent you a document of the rules. So if you need to reference it for whatever reason, right? All right. So I guess we could.
Just one more thing on the rule. Make sure what you have in there that if anyone makes a statement, then the other person gets 10, 15 seconds to rebut that too. So don't ask a question, get an answer, and then start going into statements. On the cross. That's what I want to avoid. Suddenly it becomes into a dissertation instead of a cross.
Yes. So you have to ask a question within 10 seconds or 20 seconds.
22, 25. That's okay. 22, 25.
Okay. So 20 to 25 seconds, you have to get your question out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down.
Get everyone to start tapping the screen and liking the live and sharing out the live so people can come in. Let's do our part, audience.
Yes, sir. And people that are watching on YouTube, feel free to drop a like. I know you guys are watching on YouTube. Drop a like. Just because so we could get it out there, share it out. It's going to be a moderated debate. We didn't get to promote this or anything like that, but you know what, we're here. All right, so I guess we could start off like this. So how about you both give us a 1-minute introduction? So
Hey, JP, I could put the timer on their profiles on here.
Cool. So if you could do that. So who's going first? Jay, you want to go first? Jay, do you want to go first?
I'm fine. Whatever he wants to do.
Okay, so he said you go first. Okay.
Yeah, I think the affirmative go first and then
All right.
the
If I
defensive.
go first, then I go last on the closing statement. Oh, do we have a closing statement? We should.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. 5-minute closing statements?
I'm fine with 3 minutes, but it's up to you guys.
4 minutes.
It's up to what do you want?
Let's just meet in the middle. 4-minute closing statements.
Fine.
All right, let me send you
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. I sent you the updated document with all the instructions. All right, so this is what we'll do. So Jay, you'll have a minute to introduce yourself, let people what you do, what you believe, etc. And then after that, we will allow Ninja Dawa to do the same. Then, obviously, you'll get a 5-minute opening. Then, why are there people requesting up? This is a moderated debate. So if you've requested up, please please. Just on request. Okay. So, anyways, as I was saying, so 1 minute introduction. Word, if you can give a minute and 10 seconds, just in case we got to get that set. Like, give them both a minute and 10 seconds, just so that once it's set up, people can talk, get situated. And
I can give them like seconds. I can just give them whole minutes.
oh, okay. So then
Just personal introduction, right? Nothing to do with the topic, just about
Yes,
us. I don't need it.
where can
I
people
don't have
find
much of a
you?
bio to give an
So how about
introduction.
this word? Give a 6-minute timer. The first minute of that 6 minute will be, or we could do 1 minute and then that. What do you say, word?
Well, I put it on each one of their profiles. It's no problem with me giving them 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? And then once that minute up, I just put a minute on Ninja Dawa.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right.
All right, yeah, you ready, Jay? Let me know.
Yeah. So, Ninja, you want to go with the introduction? And what is this? Give a 1 minute introduction
You
and
just
then start on the
introducing
5 minutes.
yourself,
Or do a
Jay.
1 minute introduction and roll into your
1
5
minute
minutes.
introduction. What do you do? What do you do on this app? What's your name? Where do you come from? Just an introduction, a brief introduction.
Right, and then roll into your 5 minutes, or then
No. That Ninja will give his 1
Ninja will
minute.
do it. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll just go ahead real quick. Hi guys, my name is again J49. Quite a few of you guys already know me. So I'm a recent Christian. I'm under 300 days old of being a Christian. I was an agnostic prior to that. I spent about 8 months looking into Islam and Christianity, 6 days a week, 7 hours a day. I'm retired and I sold my 2 companies at the age of 48, so I have plenty of time to do this. And I decided, look, I was always agnostic. I believed in the one true God. And so let me really figure out of the 2 religions, who has the one true God. Hands down, it was Christianity. And I chose Christianity for the sake of, Jesus, for seeing that one true God, for seeing that triune God. And the thing that I promised myself at the end of it is that whoever I will go with, as far as my religious preference, I am going to be a warrior for that religion. And I guess you guys can know me on that basis out there. So that's me. And good. Thanks for asking for this debate, Ninja. I appreciate that you did. Let's have a good one.
All right, that's Jay's opening introduction. We'll go over to Ninja Dawa. Ninja Dawa, let me know when you're ready so I can start your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Okay, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. There is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger. I'm a born Muslim. My name is Ninja Dawa. Okay, I'm from the UK. And I'm really here to show that the Qur'an was not lost. Okay, and what Uthman did was bring people together on one standard version to stop arguments. And this entire debate will be whether it was lost or changed or distorted according to Jay. And what I'll be trying to do is to debate that the original copy from Abu Bakr was used to make the new ones. It wasn't just burnt and forgotten, according to J49. And I'll bring the facts from hadiths and history to show that the Quran we have is still the one from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yeah, that's just a short introduction for myself. But yeah, and yeah, Jay, thank you for also accepting my debate, and hope you have a good debate, man.
All right. Well, with that said,
All right, Ninja Dawa, good opening. All right. So, Jay, let me know when you're ready for your opening statement as far as the argument goes, and I will give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's do it. Right.
All right.
Okay. So, guys, pretty simple. I'm here, and the evidence will show that the Muslims burned their original Quran, the very first Mus'haf, the Codex, the book they put together. They burnt it, and they burnt it because copies that came in a completely different Mus'haf 25 years later or so, that copy differed from the original. My intention is to show you this. If you get an original of anything, if you have the original of a Mona Lisa, for example, and somebody comes 20, 25 years later and says, hey, I got a copy of it, it's slightly different, she doesn't smile that much, then that means you don't sit down and burn the original. But in the case of the Muslims, they burned the original. Why did they do that? Because it's a political process. They didn't really care whether they had the original words of Allah. Okay? So now, how does this whole story start? It starts with the very first time the Quran gets compiled. This is 632. The year is 632. Muhammad has just died. I'm going to show you a few things if I can get camera access on it too. We go into the Hadith of Sahih Bukhari 4986. Bukhari's 4986 talks about how Abu Bakr was approached to put the Quran for the first time into a singular book. Remember, Muhammad never in 23 years ever bothered to put it into a singular book. So he was approached because of a battle where there were a lot of lives being lost. The people who actually memorized it were dying, so they were concerned they were going to lose the Quran. So they put this Quran together. All right. Once they put this Quran together, he recruited Zayd bin Thabit, a fellow named by Zayd bin Thabit, who was a personal scribe of Muhammad, to sit down and put the Quran together. How does he do that? This is an important point. He goes to the original sources. What do I mean by original sources? I mean, he's not going to borrow it from a copy of someone else's Quran or someone else's different mushaf or codex. He actually goes to, as it says, so I started looking for the Quran and collecting it from what was written on palm stalks, thin white stones, and also from men who knew it by heart. So he goes and grabs all of that stuff, oddly enough, for a guy who was a personal scribe, the perfect memory wasn't there. He couldn't do it on his own, but that's secondary. He goes and gets it, and then he compiles the very first Quran. The very first Quran has no copies. It's just the original book that's in there. That original book, now it's also important to remember again, no copies of it were made. So only the original was there. Once they finished compiling it as a book, that book was handed to Abu Bakr, and it says, then the complete manuscript's copy of the Quran remained with Abu Bakr till he died. After he dies, that's the first caliph. Then the second caliph, after he dies, gets it. That's Umar. And then it says, then with Umar till the end of his life, and then with Hafsa, his daughter. So Hafsa is his daughter. Now Hafsa keeps this Quran, the original Quran, in her possession for 20 years under her bed. 20 years later, we get Uthman being asked to compile a brand new mushaf. Now we come into Sahih Bukhari 4987. What happens in here real quick is that again, there's a battle going on there. The people are fighting up there against Armenia. Uthman, who's the caliph, on his side, he's got Muslims from Iraq, Muslims from Sham on his team, on his group, fighting against them. When they're not fighting against Armenia, fighting among them each other. When they go to mosque and they start hearing that each other's Qurans and narrations are completely different. So in comes running their commander from about thousands of miles away to Uthman and says, we need a new Quran. We need a new mushaf. Otherwise, we'll lose the ummah, it says.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Okay. Now, that particular and in this particular time, what happens is Uthman asks Hafsa for the original Quran. She gives him the Quran. He also grabs Qurans from other people and manuscripts from other people. He returns back her Quran. Then he burns everybody else's Quran up and fragmentary manuscripts, it says out there. And then after that, what happens that his people few years later realize that his Quran differs from the original Quran. So they ask Hafsa to give back the original Quran. And they take it, that's the Emir of Medina, and he burns it. And when he burns it, he says, I'm burning it because it differs from the original, it differs from Uthman's copy. Marwan spread them out and burned them, fearing that they might be different in them from what Uthman had compiled. Okay, so when Hafsa dies, he gets the manuscripts from her brother, and then he burns the original Quran simply because it differs from the original Quran. Ladies and gentlemen, they do not have the original Quran today. Their Quran is a man-made fake Quran. They lost the original Quran. They burned the original Quran. How many seconds?
Time's up. Time's up. Time's up. All right, Jay. Good opener from J49er. Ninja Dawa, let me know when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah. So
right.
First of all, I'm gonna clarify what actually happened, right? What's his name? Hudayfa. He came to Uthman at the time when the people of Sham and Iraq was spreading Islam, right? And he warned him that if Quranic differences continued, the nation would split like Jews and Christians. So Uthman sent for the Quran from Hafsa, right? So Hafsa sent it to Uthman. So Uthman then appointed Zayd, right, And then Abdul Rahman, right? He sent him to make the perfect copies, and he instructed him. He said, if you disagree, write in the Quraysh dialect where it was revealed in the tongue, right? So they finished copying, and then Uthman did return the original manuscripts to Hafsa, and then sent a copy to each province, right? And he ordered that all the Quranic materials should be burnt. Now, I'm gonna explain what this actually means, right? He didn't burn the original. It's so funny how he read the Hadith and said burn the Qur'ans. He didn't say Qur'ans. He said copies. He burnt the original. He returned it to Hafsa, and then he burnt the other Quranic text to present confusion, because as I said, the Qur'an was not revealed in a singular form. It was revealed in 7 different dialects, because not everyone in Arabia spoke the same dialect. It doesn't take a genius to know that. So he skipped over the word copy and said Qur'an. He replaced it with Qur'an. Anyway, so his job was preserving unity, right? So no, he wasn't rewriting or destroying the message. The original stayed, but it was used to create the authentic copies. So I'm gonna bring a hadith. Since I don't have a second device, I'm gonna bring it on. I'm gonna quote it so you can read it in his spare time. But he just misrepresented the entire hadith by saying he burnt the Qur'ans. No, he did not. Because the people were fighting over the differentiations of the dialect. Some people, for example, there's 2 different dialects, right? The Qurayshi tribe and another tribe, they read the Quran, but it seems like when they were reading it, it sounded a bit different to theirs. So they were confused on why their Quran sounded different. So what they did was Uthman was approached and said, we are going to lose the Muslim Ummah if they carry on fighting over these dialects. So what we need to do is keep it in one separate dialect so it's easier to understand. So the man didn't burn any Quran, Jay. He burned the copies. I love how he skipped over the word copy on purpose so you can make Islam look bad, but it's fine. It's fine. It's cool. He didn't burn the original. He returned it to Hafsa and then burned the copies. So whatever was unauthenticated was left behind and burnt. And whatever was authenticated and approved and checked was sent out to the Islamic Empire. So please do not lie on the hadith and give the proper context. I'll give the rest of my time as charity to J49 to explain it properly next time and not lie on the hadith. Thank you very much.
My brother, you have 2 minutes.
Are you giving
I'll give him
your time to Jay?
I'll give him 2 minutes.
He get an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah, he gets extra 2 minutes. I
thank
want
you.
him to explain it properly. Yeah, no problem.
Excellent. This doesn't take away from the 3 minutes after that.
Hold on, Jay. Let me make the switch. All right, Jay. So per the rules, now it's a 3-minute rebuttal period. Since he gave you 2 extra minutes, you have 5 minutes to rebuttal.
Thank you. Thank you, Ninja. I really appreciate that. I needed it too. I went a little too fast in that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens.
Okay, time started. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when a Muslim doesn't know his own history. He got confused among the hadiths. The hadith that he's talking about is this one here, Bukhari 4987, is when Uthman asked her for a copy. I said he asked her for a copy. He returned her copy. And I said what? I said, and then he burns other copies. Uthman sent to every Muslim province 1 copy of what they had copied and ordered that all other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies, be burned. So I said that he returned back her original. This kid doesn't know what I'm bringing to the floor out here. You know why? Because they don't know their history. Ladies and gentlemen, once he returns it back to her, 5 to 6 years later, the Amir of Medina realizes and it is in Kitab al-Masahif Ibn Abi Dawud, page 93. I purposely kind of didn't tell him what it was because I knew he would walk into my trap. He mistook everything I said to be according to that hadith. He already returned back Hafsa's copy. And the burned copies were different ones, as it says above. But what happens a few years after that, once Uthman finally gets all the compilation done for his codex, his people realize, oh bloody hell, our copy is different than the original Quran. Now, instead of burning the other ones, the copies, and standardizing everything to the original one, this is what happens. Kitab al-Masahif by Ibn Abi Dawud, page 93, we learn. When Marwan was the Emir leader of Al-Medina, he sent to Hafsa asking about the manuscripts so he could burn them. So he's asking us, send it back to me. Send what we sent you, send it back to me, fearing that some of the scribes would differ than others. But she prevented him from obtaining them. Brilliant. But guess what happens after a couple of years when she dies? When Hafsa died, Marwan urged Abd Allah ibn Umar strongly to send him the manuscripts As soon as they returned from Hafsa's funeral, Umar sent it to Marwan. So now he asked the brother, send it to me. Give me back that thing. He's already figured out, oh my God, we finally finished Uthman's copy. We had already sent back Hafsa the original Quran, and we started doing all this other stuff. We were doing it. We burned the other people's stuff. We never burned Hafsa's stuff at that time. But now he's asked it back for her. Finally, he gets it from her brother. So, as soon as they returned from Hafsa's funeral, Abd ibn Umar sends the manuscripts to Marwan, and Marwan, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, Marwan spread them out and burned them. He burned the original sucker. He burned the original Quran, fearing that there might be differences in them from what Uthman had compiled. So the only reason he burnt it, they burned the original Quran, ladies and gentlemen, because, how many minutes? I can't even see my timer on there. 2 minutes. They burned the original Quran. Yep. They burned the original Quran because it differed from Uthman's. Now, again, I ask you this question. What if Paul had found the original Bible? And then he said, I'm burning the original Bible because the copies that come 30 years later differ from the original. These muzzies would be all over every live, sitting down and telling everybody they burned the Quran. The Christians burned their Quran. Their Bible. The Christians burned their Bible. They burned the original Bible. This is what they did to him. So again, ladies and gentlemen, he got all confused. He actually walked into my trap. Okay? He got confused on 4987, which is a different hadith. No one is arguing with what's in here. And there's nothing about dialects in this hadith. See, he never showed anything. It says out here, which is not even the argument, to be honest.
1 minute warning.
Okay, so it's not even the argument about whether it being dialects or whatever. Who cares? The point is that he started his own process. He did give her back her copy. And then it says here, he burnt everybody else's and ordered all other Quranic materials, whether written fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies. I didn't skip over it. Be burnt. But that's not the issue. What happens after that? Boom, here comes it. A few years later, he asked for the original Quran back. His Amir says, give it back, give it back, give it back. And they burn it. Why did they burn the original Quran, Ninja? Why do you burn the original Quran out there? Why didn't you keep the original and burn other copies? Because you guys wanted to fib the whole process. You didn't care that it was about the original sources in there. The original Quran had original sources from leaves and stones. You wanted Uthman's Quran. It was all a political process. What do I got left here? 3 seconds? It's all done. Thank you.
2 seconds.
Time.
All right. So, Ninja Dawa, you get a 3-minute rebuttal.
Okay, no worries.
Let
I'm
me
going to
know when
quote
you're
the
ready.
same hadith. Yeah, I'm ready.
ready.
I'm born ready. Yeah. So I'm going to quote the same hadith that he quoted, right? It would be hadith 4987, right? He ready to you. But when he reads this hadith, I'm going to show you exactly where he goes wrong, okay? Now, people from Asham and Iraq are diverging in their Quranic recitations like Jews and Christians before others save the Ummah before they differ about the book, right? So Uthman asked Hafsa to, I'm reading about the way, I've got my phone up, okay, another one. So Uthman asked Hafsa to send him the Quran manuscript so he could make consistent copies and then return the originals. And Hafsa did. So Uthman appointed Zayd ibn Thatib, Abdullah ibn Zubair, and Abd al-Rahman bin Harith bin Hisham to rewrite the Quran into perfect copies. And he told the Quraysh men, if you disagree with Zayd on something, write it in the dialect of Quraysh. Once they'd finished, Uthman returned the original copies to Hafsa, so sent one copy to each Muslim, and ordered that all the Quranic materials, whether fragments or whole text, be burnt. Now, the original was returned to Hafsa, right? This guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The hadith clearly states, Uthman returned the original manuscripts to Hafsa. That's not destruction. Are you slow? The hadith says Uthman sent out standard copies and then ordered that all the other Quranic scraps or materials be burnt. So these were versions not matching the authentic text. It was not original. So the reason for the burning was to prevent for them to differ in different dialects. So it doesn't really destroy the true text. So this move was ensured Muslims across the empire recited the Quran the same way as every Muslim does. And today we see Muslims reciting in the same way, so there's no confusion. I don't know what this guy's talking about. And then later on, the original copy with Hafsa was reportedly lost, right? But by then, the standardized version was already distributed. So what's the point? So even if Hafsa's copies later vanished, the Quran remained. It remained intact. This guy's forgetting that the Quran is an oral tradition. Now, I'm gonna read to you guys. This, okay? Volume 006, book number 006, 509. Okay. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq sent for me when the people of Yamam had been unalived of the Prophet's companions who fought against Musliman. Okay, it's a bit long for me to read, but what this is basically saying is that. Hold on. Okay, so the claim first of all, before I read it, right? The claim that Uthman burned the original Quran doesn't hold when you read the Hadith. The 498 clearly says Uthman returned the original manuscript to Hafsa after making the official copies. He then sent those copies all over the Muslim world and only burnt the other versions, the other dialects that weren't matching. So he wasn't destroying our books authentically. Okay, he was basically preserving it. So the original stayed safe for years, and then what mattered is the Quran stayed preserved in one clear text, exactly what Uthman intended. So please do not ever lie, okay, with your false lies ever again. It's very embarrassing how what you've done today. And the source that I gave for that was, hold on, where was it again? Hadith number 509. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So that is your time. So let me look at the document here. And what are we doing now? 2 minute rebuttals? Work?
2 minutes.
Okay. Let me expand Jay here. All right. Jay, your timer will be started shortly.
All right. So, guys, once again, this guy is not tracking. Oy vey, fool. No one is saying that copy wasn't returned. What you're not understanding is I'm talking about what happens after it was returned. He keeps on saying, this guy is not tracking. This guy doesn't know that it was returned. I said it was returned. They returned the copy to Hafsa. But I'm talking about, this is what you're talking about. Then he burnt other copies in there. What were in there. So he had multiple Qurans, multiple manuscripts along with Hafsa's. He took all of that into consideration and created his own Uthmanic codex. But what I'm saying is not lost or burnt, lost or whatever he said. I said he burnt it. After he returns the copy to Hafsa, pay attention, okay? After he returns the copy to Hafsa, few years later, in comes Marwan, his Amir, and he says he sent to Hafsa asking about the manuscripts so he could burn them. He says, Hafsa, give it back to me again. Yeah, Jahil, you're sitting down and going on this thing, and you're repeating the thing over and over again. She got the copy back.
Calling Jay. No name.
Yes, so I got the copy back. Yes, okay. Yes, he sent the copy back, but few years later, these guys asked for that same original Quran back again, and then they burn it. Why? Because they said differences from what Uthman had finally compiled. If there were no differences, everything was perfect, why did they burn the original Quran? Again, understand this. The copy goes back to her. But few years after that, these guys, the Marwan, the Emir of Medina says, give it back to me again. And he says he sent to Hafsa asking about the manuscripts so he could burn them, fearing some scribes would differ from the others. Then when she dies, he finally gets a hand on it. When Hafsa died, Marwan urged Abd Umar to send that same copy back to who? Him, the original Quran. Okay? And so then what does he do after that? He gets the original Quran and Marwan spread them out and burned them. What are you talking about, lost or corrupt? Are you not paying attention to what the hell is being said to you? So now, hopefully, you understand.
Thumbs up, Jay. Thumbs up, Jay. Thumbs up.
Beautiful. Okay.
No, give me a second.
No problem. Okay, let me know when I can stop.
Yeah, start up his time as soon as he speaks. Go ahead, Ninja.
All right, you go. Go ahead.
Okay, he said Marwan asked for Hafsa's manuscripts years after the old man returned it, right? But that actually proves my point, not his. Because why would Marwan want Hafsa's manuscripts? Why? Because the official standard Quran was already completed. He didn't want anyone using pre-standard version to stir confusion. Simple. He wasn't saying, oh, Hafsa is better. No, he was saying, we've already got the final agreed version. No need to keep this older draft floating around. So it's better for us to burn it. So Marwan didn't request it because it was more accurate. So he wanted to stop people from going back to unofficial versions and messing with the unity, right? So the man worked hard to protect it. He preserved this Quran. That's basically like a political way of thinking, okay? But whatever. And let's be honest, right? If Hafsa's copy really had major differences, the Quraysh, the scribes, and the companions would have spoken out. They didn't. Why? Because it literally matched what the man's team copied from it. That's why he asked for her copy in the first place. not someone else's, my boy. Because what this guy's failing to understand is his focus is on the burning, but he doesn't understand why it was burnt. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Because the official standard Qur'an was already complete. He didn't want anyone using the older versions anymore. Because he standardized it. That's the entire point. I don't know why this guy's so focused on the burning of the copies. What's wrong with you? Like, he was a governor of Medina after Uthman's death, so he literally feared that Hafsa's manuscripts could be used to challenge the official Uthmanic codex. There's no evidence that Hafsa's manuscripts contradicted the Uthmanic one. Marwan himself said, I was afraid that something might be found in that would differ from the Uthmanic Mushaf, and that could cause confusion in Ibn Abi Dawood, Khitab al-Mushaf. So please stop making stuff up. You know how you use that Mona Lisa analogy, right? Let's ruin it with it. Let's play with it, right? Uthman didn't replace. Yeah, Uthman didn't replace the Mona Lisa. He took the original, made identical prints, returned the painting, and then said, burn the dodgy sketches people made from my memory. Thank you very much.
All right. So real quick, we are about to approach the
10-minute cross exam, huh?
Yes, what everybody's waiting for, 10-minute cross examinations, where Jay will be able to grill Ninja for 10 minutes, and Ninja will be able to grill Jay for 10 minutes. So if you're watching on YouTube, please drop a like so we can get this live stream. We got over 100 people watching on YouTube, over 170 people watching on TikTok. So let's get these likes out. These gentlemen are here debating, so we can get the word out for this debate. Drop a like on TikTok, drop a like on YouTube. Let's get these likes, share it up. We're about to get to the core part of this debate. So Jay, Ninja, if y'all want to get a drink of water or something, go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry.
If not, we'll start.
I'll let Jay start. Yeah, you can start then.
Yes,
I'm gonna try to put them side by side, JP.
Oh yes. You know how to do that?
Yeah, I think. Let me see if I can. There they go.
All right, cool. All right, Jay, let me know when you're ready, brother.
Let's go.
Hold on, real quick, Jay. Let me set your time. All right, it's on.
All right,
you,
I want to make this very clear. 20 seconds response time.
Oh, hold on. I started it. I started this time. Hold on, let me stop this timer.
Yes. So I just want to be very clear. 20 seconds response time when the question is asked, and the question must be asked within 20 to 25 seconds. So we're not going to go on monologues as per the rules. That goes for both of you guys. So I just wanted to make that clear. All right.
All right? Ready? Okay, let's do it. Congratulations on finally coming onto the hadith that I was talking about. So now let's start with this. Was the original Quran compiled by Abu Bakr? The very first original Quran. Great. Was that Quran perfect? The verbatim words of Allah?
Yes.
Great. Was that Quran then given to Umar and then later to Hafsa?
Yes.
Great. Did Uthman ask for that very same Quran from Hafsa? Okay. Now, earlier you said, after telling me it was perfect and verbatim words of Allah, you used a comment and you said the earlier draft. So am I going to be right in presuming that it's no longer a draft because you just said it was the perfect and the original Quran?
Yeah, well, first of all, right, hold on one second. Repeat your question again. I don't understand what you said.
Earlier you used the word draft on the Quran. You just confessed that the first Quran was the original Quran, it was a perfect Quran, it was the verbatim words of Allah. That can't be a draft. Correct?
No, I'll actually answer that by saying, yeah, the first, the misunderstanding of draft means in this context, you can use, I'm going to address this right now, okay? Abu Bakr's compilation was the original manuscript. I'm not saying it wasn't, right? But that doesn't mean it was the public final version. It was preserved in private.
I'm happy about that. So now the resistance that Hafsa gives to Uthman, correct? Great. The original perfect verbatim words of Allah, the greatest Quran that was taken from the leaves and the stones, is now sent back to Hafsa, correct? Great. And then a few years after that, Marwan walks in. No, strike that. Sorry. Let me ask you something else. Now, did Uthman ask for other people's Qurans and manuscripts also, along with Hafsa's?
Well, yes,
Okay.
but
Okay.
hold on, I'm not finished.
I'm
But
sorry.
man
Go
did
ahead.
ask for other people's Quranic materials, but not because he needed that content. He already had the original from Hafsa. He just wanted to compare and make sure everyone was aligned before standardizing.
Okay. All the things you just said right now, do you have any evidence for the extra stuff you added? Is that in the hadith, or you just added to it?
What do you mean? Like, well, when I said he
Does it say
standardized?
that he didn't need it and he doesn't want it? He just asked them because he was saying, like, this one time in band camp, I felt like you should send me something. Any of this stuff you sat down and just added to it, is that in the hadith? Does Uthman ask make any of those statements? I just asked it for just giggles. I asked him for it, as you said. Does he make any of the stuff that you just
Yeah,
added?
Uthman did ask for other people's Quran copies. Yes, I'm going to tell you from Sahih Bukhari 4987, right? I'm not going to read it out, it's too long, but Uthman didn't replace the original. We know he didn't. He returned it to
Right.
Hafsa. The official copy was made. So he collected their copies to find the new content.
Great.
Go on for two.
Great. So so I'm just clarifying and I'm correctly assuming this, tell me right, yes or no, that now this additional thing you added, that Uthman was just, he just didn't really care for other people's copies. That's what you alluded to. Really, he just asked it for whatever, he didn't use it. None of that is in the hadith. The hadith doesn't tell you that he only used Hafsas exclusively, correct? Okay, great. So now I've disqualified that too. Now, a few years after that, is Marwan the Emir of Medina who asked Hafsa to send a copy back? The original Quran?
Yes, yes.
So Hafsa said, I'm not going to send you the perfect verbatim words of Allah, the original Quran, but then when she dies, am I correct that I showed you evidence that he forced her brother to send the perfect verbatim words of Allah, the original Quran, back to him?
Oh, I'll answer that by saying Hafsa didn't hesitate at first, right? It was a personal copy and it was precious to her because, the Quran is precious to everyone. But the hadith in Sahih Bukhari makes it clear she did send the manuscript to Uthman when he asked. There's no mention of her you refusing permanently. There's no mention of that. So unless
Okay.
you can prove that, then, yeah.
Okay, I didn't say anything about Uthman. I said to Marwan. Okay, and I'm glad that it was precious to her. Thank you for confirming that the first Quran, the brilliant Quran, the perfect Quran, the verbatim words of Allah was precious to her. I said, did I show you in Abi Dawud that Marwan asked her to send that precious, perfect, greatest first Quran back to her and she refused, but then later, after she died, he got her brother to send it back to her. Yes or no?
Hold on. The hadiths don't mention Marwan being sent to ask Hafsa for manuscripts. What are you talking about? The 4987, the man himself asked Hafsa directly for the copies. Are you slow?
Okay, here it is. Kitab al-Masahif, talking about being slow. Abi ibn Dawud. When Marwan was the Emir leader of Al-Madinah, he sent to Hafsa asking about the manuscripts so he could burn them. He's asking her to send it back to her, fearing that some of the scribes would differ from the others. But she prevented him from obtaining them. When Hafsa died, Marwan urged Umar, her brother, strongly to send him the manuscript, and as soon as they returned from the funeral, Umar sent it to Marwan. Are you slow? Did you not miss this whole boat? For the fifth time I've showed you this.
What is your question?
Yes, am I showing you in front of you evidence that Marwan asked her for the original, beautiful, perfect, verbatim words of Allah, original Quran?
Yes, now watch this. Now, let me answer this. Yes. But Uthman
so
himself
now
took charge. Hold on, I'm not finished.
Okay.
Yes. But Uthman himself took charge of the manuscript collection and standardization. Marwan's role was basically like that it doesn't change, that it stays normal. That was his role.
Okay,
But
great.
Uthman was the one who directly went. That
Great.
was my point.
This happens a few years after Uthman is dead. Hey, Charlie, know your history, bro. Don't let a Christian teach you. Marwan comes many years later. You didn't even know that. You just make up stuff as you go by. You got busted on that too. Now, does Marwan then take the copy and he spreads them out, and when he burns them, he says, because he feels that it differs from scribes and differs from the original Uthman's compilation?
Yes, but I'm going to explain it. Hold on, I'm going to explain it now. The burning was a way to avoid disagreements, okay? Which Quranic version was right? So that's why they only kept the standardized mushaf, Uthman approach. And honestly, this shows how seriously the early Muslims took preservation. So it doesn't really make sense, but go ahead.
Great. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He has conceded the entire debate to me. The debate was, did they burn the original Quran because it differed from later copies? He is now trying to say that the Quran that he very much, remember in front of everybody, he said, that it was, you are saying this, by the way, I'm sorry, I got to frame this in a question. You are now saying this, I apologize. Okay, you are saying this now that you have, I'm saying you have, am I right to assume that you've conceded the debate? Because you are now saying you've agreed that the original Quran has been burnt, that the original Quran was perfect, verbatim words of Allah, and it was the very first Quran. And you're not confessing they burnt it because they felt that this copy would be a better way to standardize it. So they took the original Quran and they burnt it. Am I right in my assumption? Have I proved my case?
You really haven't, bro, I'll be honest. Because as I said, I didn't say the original Quran was burned. The original manuscript that only Hafsa kept was actually returned to her by Uthman after the copies were made. So what got burnt was the other versions or personal copies that had different dialects. I don't think you know how to track the conversation, my bro.
Okay. Was the Quran that again, for the 8th time now, did Marwan ask Hafsa to send the original Quran back? That's the copy that was sent to Uthman, and Uthman returned it back to Hafsa. She still has the original Quran. Did Marwan ask her to send those to that back to him? Hello?
Yeah. I would say yes, but I'm not done yet. Hold on, don't trip me, okay? Yes, but from the stronger hadiths and historical sources, it's clear
1 minute warning.
that the man was officially. Hold on, one sec. My point is this: he keeps misrepresenting me, right? Uthman was the one who officially asked Hafsa to send the manuscripts. I don't know why he keeps messaging Marwan. It doesn't got to do anything with Marwan. That wasn't his role. The role was Uthman was the one who was sent to Hafsa. I don't know why he keeps mentioning Marwan. What does that prove? What does that prove?
Okay, listen, it's just beyond 20 seconds. Come on, what are we doing here? Okay, so here, again, did Abu Bakr compile the original Quran and give it to Hafsa? And did Hafsa give it to Uthman? And Uthman gave it back to Hafsa? And Marwan asked for Hafsa's copy, the original Quran again? Yes or no?
Yep.
And they burned the original Quran. And he went and burned that copy, the original Quran.
Bro, this guy, bro, why do you keep saying the original Quran? Do you mean the original manuscripts after they were standardized?
The original Quran is the one which Abu Bakr did, the very first Quran compiled together, the very first
The
Musaf.
standardization.
First Musaf, who cares what you call it? It's
Your
the very
time's
first
over.
original.
Time's over. Stop speaking. Your time's over.
Okay.
Time's up.
Okay.
Time's up. All right, that was a heated. That was heated. I like it. Good back and forth right there. Yeah. Let me know when you're ready, Ninja, and I'll give you your time.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'm ready.
There you go.
Okay, Jay. If the man's standardization was truly authentic, right? Why was there such concern about variations in the Quranic copies? Doesn't that suggest multiple versions existed from early on?
Great. I want to start off by saying that's nothing to do with the topic about burning the original Quran. But if you're asking me why Uthman was concerned about, actually repeat your question. I'm sorry, and you can pause this time because
no. I said if the man's standardized version was already authoritative, right? Why was there such concern about variations in Quran copies? Like, well, why does it concern the Quranic copies? What's the catch? What's the issue?
Which copies?
It already suggests that multiple versions existed from early on, prior the original copies.
Hold on, you're mixing things up out there. You don't know your history properly. Uthman standardizes the Quran. After that, are you saying there are other additional Qurans that were existing around or prior to standardization?
You can't ask questions.
Stop asking me. I'll just move on to another question, bro. Right. If Marwan or others were involved in the Quran compilation, okay, hold on one sec. If Marwan or others were involved in the Quranic compilation, right, why do the stronger hadiths focus on Uthman's role? Remember, it's focusing on Uthman's role, right? So how do we reconcile these differences, Tom?
This has nothing to do with the topic. It's whether Marwan was involved in the compilation is nothing. It's not even mentioned in the Bukhari hadith that you keep getting confused over, right? This is not about Uthman sitting down and trying to compile a new Quran. We agree that he did try to do it. It's about what they did with the original sucker. The very first one that you call perfect, verbatim words of Allah, they burned that baby. They burnt it because it
20
differed
seconds.
from
That's
Uthman.
20 seconds, Jay. Go ahead, Ninja.
Okay, so if the Quran was already memorable, okay, hold on. Actually, I know I'm gonna ask a different question. Okay, so how do we know that the copy Hafsa kept was the original Quran? Are there reliable reports confirming its authenticity? Yes or no?
Yes, because he gave back her original. She only had the original. She's the wife of Muhammad. She got it from her father, who was the Caliph Umar. It says Umar gave it to her. In the very first hadith I showed you, Bukhari 4986, under Abu Bakr, it says that it went from Abu Bakr to Umar to her. That's the only thing she had.
If the original Quran, okay, so hold on, actually, no, because you're not gonna answer that. Okay, how can we trust that the copies Uthman made were exactly the same as original if no one today has Hafsa's manuscript?
How can you trust whether the copy Uthman made were exactly the same as Hafsa's? I never make the claim that it was exactly the same as
Yes,
Hafsa's.
if one, okay, hold on, bro, this guy, listen to me. Okay, look, today, how can we trust that the copies Uthman made when he standardized it were exactly the same as the original one if no one today has Hafsa's manuscript?
Great, we can do that because Marwan sat down and said, I'm burning it because it differs from Uthman. Are you been missing everything what's happening so far? I've showed you over the evidence. You don't pay attention to stuff, bro. He said it in there. He said it clearly. I'm burning it because it differs from Uthman's. That's how we can trust it differed from Uthman's. Hello?
Are you done? Okay, thank you. If Marwan was involved in collecting or burning copies, right, what does that say about the reliability of the process? Like, who really controlled the Quranic text? Whose role was it mainly? Was it Marwan's or Uthman's? Uthman's.
Boom, baby, you're right. That's why I said, thank you. I agree with you. It's a big stinking pile of horse manure, your preservation. That's my point. You burn the original sucker. Anybody comes and does anything, puts on anything that they want. What really happens is this is a political process. They want their stamp of that caliph. Uthman's Quran, Abu Bakr's Quran, Ibn Mujahid's Qirats. They're just concerned about putting their names out there. You're absolutely right. Thank you, brother. Welcome to Christianity. Now you've agreed that your entire process is a stinking pile of horse manure when it comes to preservation. Thank you for saying that.
Okay, I want to make a point, right? Okay, so notice he said Hafsa's copy was an original because it differed from Uthman's, bro. But here's the thing, right? Hafsa's copy was the original manuscript compiled from Abu Bakr's collection because Uthman's team made multiple copies from that original to send out across the empire.
Is that a statement or a question?
No. Stop interrupting me. One sec. Stop interrupting me.
You gotta formulate a question, Ninja.
Yeah. So my question is, right? Can you prove it? Hold on. No. Actually, no. Answer this question. Can you prove? Stop laughing. Can you prove it was not the original manuscript? Just because it differed, it doesn't mean it was not the original. Can you prove it's a different copy from Hafsa's? Yes or no?
What? Hafsa, what is this guy doing, guys? I am saying she had the original. You agree that she gave the original to Uthman. You agree that Uthman had multiple other Qurans and manuscripts. And you also agree that he sent it back, the original back to Hafsa. And I'm just sitting down saying, Marwan asked for the original back from her. He said, give me that manuscript. What other manuscript did she have? That's the only thing she had. So yeah, she had the original. Now you're going to switch and try and pretend. Do you have any evidence that she didn't? That she had multiple Qurans or something? Wait. Are you now going to say that there were multiple Qurans running around with Hafsa too? Go ahead.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Let me
Questions, you can't ask questions, Jay.
Oh, in the form of a statement that was. I ponder if he's saying that. Sorry, I prefaced my statement with that way.
Okay, again, what specific evidence do we have that the copies Uthman burnt contained mistakes or differences serious enough to risk confusion or corruption?
The very hadith I showed you from Marwan, if it wasn't serious enough, why burn the sucker? Why burn the original sucker? Why burn verbatim words of Allah? You guys burn the verbatim perfect words of Allah. You said it was that. You said Hafsa's copy was that. You said it, and they burned that. If there wasn't big differences, why burn it? What? That's my question. Why the bloody hell burn it?
Okay, beautiful. He's asking me why burn it. The same hadith this guy read literally said so they don't differ from each other, so they don't end up like the Christians and Jews with their own interpretations of the Quran in different dialects. So, okay, now I'm gonna say something and ask my follow-up question, right? Uthman burned the...
Hold on, he made a statement. I get a time to reply back to that statement.
No, you don't.
No,
He didn't formulate a question, Jay.
You formulated a statement out there.
Ninja Dawa, you gotta
Okay, okay.
formulate questions, bro.
Uthman burned the
You
Quran
made
copies.
you made a
So,
truth claim. I have to answer it.
okay, let me
I'll
ask
give
my
you more
question.
time on
Let me
your
ask my
questions,
question.
but I
Let me
gotta
ask my
answer it.
question. Stop. Let me ask my question. If the copies he burnt were really so different, then how do we know that the version we have today didn't lose some important parts? How do we know?
Hey man, this guy is slow-mo, dude. I think he gets confused on the other hadith. Listen, you keep on thinking about the other copies. This is Hafsa's copy. How do we know? He's saying Marwan, the Emir of Al-Media, sent to Hafsa asking about the manuscripts so he could burn them, fearing that some of the scribes would differ from the others, that there were differences in them for what Uthman had compiled. This man here is telling us they were different. And it was different to the extent that he had to burn the original Big Daddy, the very first perfect, beautiful, verbatim words of Allah. He had to burn it. If it
That's
was no
time.
difference, why the hell burn
That's
it?
time, Jay. That's time.
Last time, okay. Okay, so how do we explain, right, reports of early companions having slightly different Quran readings, right, even after Uthman's standardization? Does that not suggest that process wasn't completely flawless?
I'm sorry,
Was
could
it
you
less-
repeat that? You broke up for me a little bit. I apologize. Can you say that?
Okay,
I
so
apologize.
how do we explain reports, right, from the early companions, right, having
Yeah.
slightly differentiating Quranic readings or like dialects, even after Uthman's standardization, even after he did that, right? Does that not suggest the process wasn't completely finalized, flawless?
My friend, what is wrong with you? You keep on talking about everything else
Answer it.
other than.
Answer my
Let me
question.
answer. I got 20 seconds. Okay? You keep on talking about oranges and tea in China. I am asking you, why did they burn? Do you know what the debate is?
ask
Why did
questions.
they burn the original Quran? So the debate is, why did they burn the original Quran? I'm showing you they burned the original Quran. You're so hopped up on different dialects and different Qurans during that time, and you want to take me somewhere else. No. Why did they burn the original Quran? And they tell you why they did it. Because it differed from Uthman's copy. It differed enough to burn the original words of Allah. When you confessed it was the original words of Allah. It was a perfect Quran, you said. It was verbatim words of Allah.
That's time. That's
And they
time.
burnt it.
Uthman had other copies burnt because different versions were causing confusions. So he wanted to make sure everyone had the same. So
Is that a
everyone
question?
does, yes, it's a conclusion, and I'm going to follow up with a question. Stop and show to me, okay? The reason he burnt it so no one mistakes it from other Quran. So they can always have one standardized version, okay? But here's the thing, right? If these copies were really so different, I'll answer this question. Stop running away. How can we be sure the versions we have today in the 21st century is exactly the same as the original, as it was originally revealed?
Guys, this is sad. This is low tier sad, okay? This
guys,
guy
look, he's
is
not
getting
answering.
confused. This guy is talking about Uthman burning these copies here, which are not Hafsa's copy. Hafsa's copy here, he returns back. He's saying, why did they do this? Why did they do this? Why did they do this? The debate is not about this. Yeah, inattentive. I gotta be nice to him, okay? The debate is about this that was returned, that later, that thing that was returned,
That is time.
this dude,
Time's up.
this
Time's
dude
up.
asked for that copy to be
That
returned.
is time,
They burned
buddy.
that copy. That's what the debate is about. You keep on mistaking it with Uthman's other copies he burned.
Jay, I love you, but I have to be fair, brother. I have to be fair, Jay. Come on. I gotta be fair, Jay. I gotta be fair. But thank you, Jay. I appreciate
Good, because I don't look at the time, so it's fine. I'm okay with that.
it.
All right. Are we gonna go to 5-minute closings now?
No, it's gonna be
Yeah.
4-minute closings.
Oh, 4-minute closings?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can give 4 minutes.
We can do it 3 minutes. You okay with 3 minutes?
I can give 4 minutes. I can give 4 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even need 4 minutes. I don't know. It's up to you. But
If you're gonna
that's
be
cool.
with then just forfeit the time.
Just let us know when you're ready.
Closing statement, right? He goes first on the closing statement. Remember we agreed?
Oh yeah, you said yeah. Ninja, you want to go
Because I
first?
went on the opening.
He said he went first on the opener, so you can go first on the closing, Ninja.
So what?
Hold on. Let me set your time, bro. All right, you ready? Go ahead.
Okay, so my closing will be this, right? The whole point about Marwan being fearful is that shows how big the problem actually was, right? But the thing he doesn't understand is he keeps asking me, why was it burnt? Marwan was feared that he would differentiate. So in order to keep it standardized, he burnt the unauthentic copies And then the ones that were authenticated and checked were the ones that were sent. Then burn the unauthentic ones. Again, look at the mission. They were trying to preserve the texts, right? Marwan feared that it would differentiate. That's why he burned the copies. So I don't know why this guy keeps asking me the same question. I told you he was fearing. Okay? So please, like, you know, and the fact that he failed to answer my question. I asked him, how do we know it's different today? He didn't answer that question. I asked him 3 times over and over again, how do we know it's different to what we have today? And he kept going back to asking me, because, oh yeah, because Marwan, he burnt it. Yeah, but I told you why. I told you why. Is he burnt it because he was fearing that it was differentiating with the other copies. That's why. It is so simple. I don't know why he kept asking me the same question. He literally answered my questions with a question. But I don't need any more time. It's simple, bro. This guy, he's way slow, bro. Yeah, Jay, you can have my timer.
Oh, thank you.
An extra 2 minutes for Jay.
Yeah, baby. Let's get it. Okay, let's
6 minutes, Jay. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, it's on you, Jay, whenever you start.
Ladies and gentlemen, the poor kid is absolutely confused. J49er got him spinning. You know why? He doesn't know what the topic is. The topic isn't, you see, during Uthman time, he asked Hafsa for her Quran. He asked other peoples for their Qurans and other people for their manuscripts. So now imagine, one group Hafsa, group number 2 is other people's Quran and manuscripts. Remember this, one group, somebody's, hey, you got a dog barking. I don't know whose the dog it is.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry. So you got one group, which is Hafsa's Quran. The second group is other people's Quran. This boy is thinking I'm asking him why they burned the second group. The first group, Hafsa's Quran, is the original one. You see, that's why he keeps on going on Uthman. Don't worry. Yeah, I asked you about why Uthman burned the other copies. I'm saying Uthman never burned the original. It is Marwan who burnt it. He got all confused. He didn't even know that Marwan comes years after Uthman. Okay? So he got all confused about that stuff. He keeps going back. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the original Quran was with Abu Bakr. Yes, check. Abu Bakr's Quran is the perfect verbatim words of Allah Quran, right? The first very Musaf Quran. Yes, check. He's agreed to all of this stuff, okay? That goes to Hafsa, check. Hafsa sends it to Uthman, check. Uthman gives it back to her, check. So the original Quran is now sitting with Hafsa. Keep this in this side, okay? On this side of the building, you keep that over here. On this side of the building is these other Qurans he has, he starts burning it. So that's the one he starts burning. He starts all other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies, be burned. I don't care about this. I'm not asking about this, why he burned this sucker here. I'm saying, what happened to that Quran on the original? Now what happens is, move on, you follow on, brother. You're not following. This is what happens to that original Quran. That original Quran, this guy here is asking Hafsa, send me back that original Quran. We're not worried about this group. Send me back the original Quran. She sends it, she refuses it. When she dies, her brother sends it to Marwan. And then Marwan burns it, saying because it differed from Uthman's final copy. Uthman's thing, it differed from it, which he agreed to. The man is continuously agreeing to me, saying yes, he burned the original perfect verbatim words of Allah that he's kept on saying it is, because it differed, because a copy 25 years later differed from the original Mona Lisa. They burned the original Mona Lisa. I can't understand why this guy keeps on going to this group. He keeps focusing this. I have completely flabbergasted him. This boy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't even know what the debate is. He's handed it to me over and over again. He agrees that the original Quran was burned. Oh, it was burned because it had differences, he says. No, S. Sherlock. Yes, it was. But that's what we're asking. Why do you burn the original? If Paul had got the original Bible and had burned the original Bible saying, hey, man, the copies that came afterwards differ from it, you would be saying, what the hell? Why did you burn our original Bible? We cannot trust you guys. You cannot trust them, guys. You cannot trust these guys. Because what they have in their hand right now is a fake. It's not the original. The original verbatim words of Allah is burnt. As simple as that. Now, I'll tell you why they do this again. It's a political process. All they're interested in is I want to make that Caleb stamp over that Quran. That's why they sit down and do this stuff. By the way, since I have some more time, since he wants to be educated about other Qurans during that time, there was Ibn Masud's Quran. There was Ubay bin Ka'b's Quran. All of those Qurans are floating around during Uthman's time. Even after he compiled it, there were many other Qurans hanging around. This whole thing about perfect preservation and great memory is a stinking pile of horse manure. When we read their own scholarship, they tell us these guys are burning these things. I think we should have a holiday once a year, maybe in Ramadan or somewhere else, where we burn a Quran and we say we do it in the name of Uthman. They should be celebrating the amount of times these guys have been burning their Qurans in their history. It should be like 4th of July of Quran, dude. That's what we should be doing. Thank you very much. I'm done. You don't know what the hell, you don't even know what the topic is. You don't even know what Quran we are talking about being burning. Thank you very much. I'm done.
All right. That was the debate. It's over. We're gonna do what 3 questions apiece, or how many questions do you think y'all can stand apiece?
This is the topic.
Jay,
I'm fine. Whatever. 3 is fine with me. Bring
Ninja
up
Dawa.
3. I mean, even you and JP and everybody can get involved in it if you just want to have bring as many. I don't care.
No. Let's
Whatever.
keep it structured. Let's allow the
Yeah,
guests.
I just want to say, right?
Yeah, let's allow the guests to come up and ask a couple
Sure.
of questions to each person. So we'll bring in a Christian to ask Ninja a couple of questions. Once that is done, we'll bring in a Muslim to ask you a couple of questions, and so on and so
We're
forth.
gonna do a couple, or one per Christian, one per Muslim.
That is up to them.
Y'all want one per Muslim, one per Christian? We can
Yeah, it's
rotate
fine.
back and forth.
Whichever. I'll be gracious to Ninja and let him decide on whatever he wants to do. I don't care.
All right, let's see what Muslims and what Christians we have in the guest request. Who want to go first? Ask the question first.
I'll go first. I'll bring a Muslim up.
You want me to bring a Muslim up?
Is Palestine requesting?
Yeah, we have Palestine.
Yeah, can you bring Palestine up, please? And then I'll tweet you after, bro. Can you bring Palestine?
How's the weather in LA, guys? Anybody knows?
All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I actually live in Chicago, buddy. Come visit me anytime. J49er.
Hold on, Palestine. Hold on. You're gonna ask one question to
Yeah,
Jay?
I know how it works, brother. Yeah, and I'll drop. I got you. I got my question. All
Hey,
right, you guys ready?
I'm just doing my job, man.
Thank you. I understand, bro. Thank you. All right, so J49er, can you name me 3 scribes that were the original scribes that compiled the Quran? Just 3 out of the 12.
Right.
Thank you. That's the
So
question.
the original Quran by Abu Bakr, which you should know, again, I'm teaching you your own Quran, your own history, was only done by Zaid. Abu Bakr was done by Zaid. It is Uthman who had a council. Thank you for asking that question. You didn't even know your original Quran was only done by Zaid. Go look at it. Bukhari 4986, Baba. Owned, baked. Next question.
Okay, that was okay. Little Jay, we got Little Dear Pope, Armor of Christ. We have the voice of
Let's go with Sister Little Dear.
Little Dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Little Dear, you're up.
Alrighty. My question is for Ninja Dawa. What is the name of the Quran that Hafsa had? The original? Thank you.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to answer the question. So the manuscript that Hafsa had is often called the Hafsa Codex. It's very simple. Or Hafsa's Mushak. It was a personal copy compiled from Abu Bakr's collection and kept with as a trusted original before Uthman made the standardized copies. Thank you very much.
All right.
Mike
Hey,
requesting?
Ninja, are you okay if we can get 10 seconds each to kind of also answer the question? If you're up for it, if not, it's fine. Can the other side get 10 seconds? You'll be okay with it?
Let's just try to keep it to the questions just answered per. Reason being, we just want to get these questions out and answers out.
All right.
I don't mind.
Ninja Dawa, we have esoteric.
Yeah, I don't mind.
We have Izzy.
Let's keep it.
Who?
Esoteric.
Esoteric. Okay.
Esoteric.
Yes, J49er. Everybody, hi, everybody, well done. J49, I have a very simple question for you. You repeated several times that it differed. Does the Hadith say it differed? Or does the Hadith say, without him even checking, he feared that it may differ? Thank you.
Right. The hadith in Arabic actually says that he feared there were differences in them. So there might be differences in them, if you want to put maybe differences in them, but his fear was enough because now remember, Marwan comes years after the Uthmanic Codex Mus'haf is already compiled. And so he's had plenty of time to look at it. And his fear was this much because earlier when he asked her, he said, the scribes might be different, doing things differently. His fear was enough out there that he sat down and said, nope, I'm going to burn the original sucker. Now, if you want to posit that he just burned the original Quran because they felt like it, okay, no problem. I still ask why you burned the original Quran.
All right. Brother Jay, we got Chris Claus, we got Pope, we got AJ the Barber, we have
Chris Claus,
Armor for Christ.
Chris Claus, sorry.
Chris Claus, all right.
All right, that's going to be 2
Wait,
questions.
DOC is here? And then DOC after that, please.
Okay, that's going to be the second question Ninja's answering. You're going to get one more question, Jay, from a Christian. Ninja, you'll get you'll get a question from a Muslim, Jay. Ninja, you'll get a question from another Christian after this, and that concludes our debate. That would be 3 questions.
Okay. So, by the way, my last 2 people will be Chris Claus and DOC. And actually, if you could, yeah. If DOC has got time limits, you can come up before.
I don't think DOC is here.
You said daughter of Christ. I was like, what?
No. His name is Armor of Christ.
Oh, okay. I'm like, DOC is here. All right. So we'll keep it at Chris Claus and then I'll decide on the
Brother
last
Chris Claus. Go ahead.
one. Yeah, Chris Claus, and then I'll decide on the last one. I got all excited, dude. I thought Jai was up here.
My question would be for Ninja Dawa. Given the 7 readings, the Qur'an or Aruf, whatever you want to identify them by, go back to Muhammad, which one was Hafsa's?
Question. That's a very beautiful question. So the Mushahaf that Hafsa had, the one compiled under Abu Bakr and used by Uthman was preserved in the...
Is he cutting off for you guys?
Breaking up, Ninja Dawa.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Can hear you now.
Yeah, if you could repeat everything you said, please.
All right.
No.
Let me get him up here. Chris, can you repeat everything you said?
Are you back?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, well, we can hear you. Did you hear?
I heard his question. I don't know.
Question, or do you need?
Yeah,
to
I heard it. Yeah, no, I heard it. So the Mushaf that Hafsa had were the one compiled under Abu Bakr was preserved in the Qurayshi dialect, and it was the same dialect of the Prophet as well. So out of the 7 Ahrufs, the one chosen for the standardized Uthmani Mushaf was the Qurayshi one, which we have today, by the way. This is what the Quran is in today.
All right. So this will be your last questions. So Jay, I mean, Ninja. In the back we have. I don't see any Muslim. I mean, I see Izzy Kajara.
Izzy. I'm not sure if David is or not.
Izzy's a Muslim.
Yeah, Izzy for sure is a Muslim.
So is Mike in there or not?
No, no, Mike. We got
Okay,
Mushroom.
bring Izzy up. Bring Izzy up.
Okay. Hello, Izzy.
Hi,
Go ahead, ask
welcome
me.
everyone.
What's up,
Yeah, my
Izzy?
question to Jay. So Jay, since you said authoritatively that Marwan said he burnt the original Quran because there are differences in it. Well, the Hadith did not say that. The Hadith says he fear it might, meaning a possibility. Did you now retrieve your word since you just said he burned it because there is differences and the Hadith did not say that? The Hadith shows a possibility. He fear there could be possibility of differences, not that categorically, yes, there is differences. Did you retrieve your word since the Hadith did not say that?
Okay. So all throughout, when I was reading the hadith, I said clearly that there might be differences in there. It doesn't make a difference if it says might be differences. Marwan had access to Uthman's codex. Marwan was there for as the emir of Medina years after Uthman's codex has already been compiled. Him sitting down and saying that he feared is just a way of saying there were differences. If you want to sit down and play the other side of the field, and mind you, if you go see the recording, when I started and I showed it every time I've showed it on screen, it says out there might be differences. I said there might be differences. If you want to play the other side of the game and say might be differences mean it wasn't their differences, fantastic. So they didn't even have an excuse for burning the original Quran. Is that what you want to run with? That they just burned the original sucker for the sake of it. They burned the perfect Quran, the verbatim words of your Allah, the very words of your Allah, you people burn it without any reason. If you want to be on that side of the field, baby, well, I'll welcome you on that side of the field. No problem.
Jay,
Both
Jay,
sides
can
welcome.
I ask you something?
All right, hold on. No, hold on. We gotta conclude this debate. So, Jay, you have some Christians in the back. Who would you like to ask a question to? The Muslim brother here. We got Armor of Christ, AJ the Barber, Pope the First, David R, Mushrooms, and Mike Wazowski.
Is it mushroom, you said?
Yeah, Mushroom.
Mushroom. Yeah, let's get mushroom up here.
Okay. All right, this will be the last question of the debate, and that'll conclude the debate.
God bless you guys. Well done, Jay. Ninja, this is a question for Ninja. Ninja, since you guys claim that Uthman standardized the Qur'ans, why do we see different Qur'ans today by different narrators with textual differences that result differences in the meaning of the verses from one Qur'an to the other? Thank you, guys.
Everybody. So first of all, okay, it's a good question. But what the man did was standardize the written text of the Quran, right? The Rasam, and then there's the script without dots and vowels. Okay, the dots and vowels. The standard script allowed for some, obviously, the variation in how it could be read. So which is where the different qira'at are. But the qira'at are basically based on transmission. And this actually goes back to the Prophet as well, okay? And they fit within the Uthmani Razm. So there's no contradictions or mistakes. They're valid readings, by the way, passed down through chains of reciters. So what I'll say is that the Qur'an have slight differences in pronunciations or wordings, but all of them are built on the Uthmanic script. There's no contradictions. I don't know what the P and P and not P is. I don't know what this guy's question meant. They don't contradict each other. There's just different wordings. But but if the existence of Qur'an means the Qur'an is corrupted, then actually I can't ask him the question. I can't ask him a question following up. But there's no differences.